Guys, Vince Roddy here, and yeah, this is gonna be my review of Neon Genesis Evangelion, and pretty much I watched one from the 20. I was like, "Yo, I have to talk about this," because I wasn't planning to talk about this anime in any ways, but I decided, you know what, I watched it. I'm just gonna share my thoughts. It's not gonna be a big deal of making this video, which I don't know at this point. Some of these videos, these reviews, they get like, hundred or thousands, and pretty much listen, I'm not a professional anime slash critique, okay, a critic, I mean, and in no ways this video is gonna be like, oh, do I recommend this to you? I don't know. You live your own life, okay? Do you? But for me, I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna watch whatever Netflix is showing. I'm gonna check out some anime that I did not grow up with, and guess what? Neon Genesis is one of them. The thing is that I was looking at different. I was browsing through Netflix, especially the anime section. While I was like, especially as I was still going through One Piece, I'm like, well, is there anything else that I can actually rest up from One Piece? Any alternatives? And in my head, and pretty much that's when I decided, like, oh, I'm just gonna do the retro anime series of just me doing different anime from older anime basically, and this is one of them, and also just review them and talk about my thoughts about it. And it's basically because that Neon Genesis Evangelion, or basically the Evangelion series, because listen, there's a bunch of Evangelions. Okay, I don't know if I made the right decision of starting it off from Neon Genesis. Maybe I made the wrong decision. I could have started off with something else. But then again, I freaking don't know, okay? So I'm just watching whatever. I'm just throwing it out there. I know there's some anime purists that are gonna be like, no, Vince, you made a big mistake. What do you want from me, okay? Yeah. So, and also, I keep hearing about Evangelion from a long time ago, of people, especially when it comes down to other people talking about different anime. They always reference how Evangelion has the craziest and most unsatisfying ending. And I always question, like, okay, what do they mean by that? And let me tell you, there's something about Evangelion with its length and its scale and its volume of its series, and also what it gives. There's a part of me where I know for a fact that what I'm about to go into is kind of like almost the same effects that I had when I first watched Code Geass, which is an anime that I'm planning to review. Again, retro series, but it's something that when I saw Neon Genesis and I saw the world from the first episode, I was like, yo, this is something that is Japanese animation itself, or Japan, really show their techniques when it comes down to the magic of what they put in this particular anime. And the retroness, the car, the looks, the fashion, and everything, the statement of these different scenes that I see in Neon Genesis, it's definitely of its time, of the 90s. But there's a part of me where it's like, yo, this is something that is somewhat trending now. Like, I feel like this could have been like this year, in the year of 2023, as the world is being invaded by angels, that kind of thing. It could have been something like that. And then I see the upside down of the city and the view from the train station. Oh my god, it was dope. Okay, it looked amazing. I don't care what no one says. The visuals and the wallpaper backgrounds from this particular anime, it really shows a lot of value of like what it can do, and the magic of just seeing all these scenes. And the whole world building, I'm ready for it. But the world building itself can be damaging, knowing that you're gonna expect a lot of damages in the city, especially these angels ruining like what they whatever it is that they're doing, invading planet Earth. But I guess they're starting it with Japan, because they're just starting off. And you can only imagine like what's going on in other countries. Why are the angels invading Japan particularly? There probably is a reasoning of the ending, but I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm just here to share my thoughts and actually just really talk about some of these scenes. And I like all of them. Understanding who Shinji is, and as a kid, and pretty much he's this shy kid, and especially his relationship with the father, which I gotta say, the father can go F himself, okay? I don't know what's up with this guy. I don't like him. I don't understand the cruelty that he put his son through. There's a part of me where I just don't understand that. Maybe there's a reasoning, I don't know. But war or something like this in certain times, like I feel like, listen, they're dealing with a freaking world war, a galactic war. One. In this, especially with what they have and what they need to sacrifice and what these people are going through, it's real. And it really shapes your decision of what your motives are and what you're trying to do, who you're trying to save, and your sense of humanity is almost tested throughout this anime. And that's what I like about Neon Genesis Evangelion. Like pretty much the war, not only the cool mech battles and also the techniques from the different, like especially the battles from Asuka was pretty cool, even though she's kind of annoying, but also like she did inspire this kind of like, what is it, tsundere kind of like, or something. I don't know, I forget the phrasing, but you know what I mean. Like there's a lot of reference of just like how Evangelion is still popular today and people might know it. It's up there like with One Piece in terms of like what they wear and what the characters are. Like if you've seen like the blue hair with the suit, for a fact that's that's the lady. I forget her name. I had her name. Ryoji, is that her name? I forget. But yeah, the blue hair lady. But I think I mostly know Asuka and also Shinji because of them being in a relationship. I like the one that is basically the captain. You know what? I'm gonna make it easier this time. Okay, I'm just gonna just scroll in as I'm talking, and there the character, especially the guardian. I forget her name, but she was she was the like almost the main hero of this entire. Okay, I don't want to see the freaking voice actors. They the whole entire like series, and like it's something that from what I seen, like how they really portray a true hero throughout the series and what they're giving. Like I enjoyed most of. Oh man, why won't you show me the characters? They show me freaking voice actors. I'm trying to get to the characters. My bad. Okay, but man, what's her name? Ryoji, is that her name? Ah, crap. See, I did not set this up. I'm freestyling off this. Okay, um, but here I am typing it as I'm trying to find the damn characters here and there. They show the faces. I don't give a damn about the freaking voice actors, man. I'm trying to freaking see the characters. Oh my god, they expect me to know the names. And here I am struggling as I'm trying to give you a perfect review. I'm sorry, okay? I'm not Glass Reflection. Ain't no way I'm that guy. That guy's in another level of his reviews. Or at least I remember, because, it's been a while since I see him actually doing reviews. But, oh yeah, Ayanami and also the other characters. I'm talking about the female character, the one with the cross. She was amazing. She was something that, especially her past is something that is very explainable, like what her motives is, but also she's still human. And I like that about this particular anime is that most of them are still human, especially if they're like, the ones that are just, doing their job or just trying to survive. They have a life behind all that, they have something more. And you can see like, especially how young these characters are. I can only see that, Shinji's guardian is like what, like somewhere around 20s, like 21 or whatever, and I can definitely see how there's a certain part of history where it does affect like who these characters are, what they've been through, and I know for a fact that what they're going through, I cannot handle. I cannot imagine myself. I cannot imagine like how I would go through when it comes down to the decisions of like, saving and also the sacrifices like Shinji go through in terms of like trying to, especially how Shinji is forced because of the dad. And that's the one thing about the dad that I just don't like is that, he's pushing this. Like, what was the reason? There has to be a good reason. There is no good reason of the father. Like, I can't really put my head around of like, what is the motives that this dad, the father of Shinji wants, it's just like on and on. The most times I see him, I know for a fact that he's like the enemy. I got a feeling. This is not a spoiler, but I'm just like, damn. That like she's probably the enemy, and I could be right. That's for sure. Okay, that's something that I definitely see. Can you just freaking show the characters? Oh my god. But yeah, Google this, is giving me a hard time by not showing me anything in terms of like the characters names, because I would really like that, but it also made me hungry of like seeing like who, that I really want to see, Shinji's friends, the two boys that really, the moment that they step into the cockpit is the moment where I'm like, yo, I'm imagining. And listen, I know this is not One Piece, but I'm just fantasizing. I'm just thinking. I'm just like, yo, this would be cool. What if these, these, what if like the five of them, Asuka and Ayanami, and especially the two boys, which is Shinji's friends, like imagine all five of them having their own, Ava, and actually saving the world itself. I know that this anime is dark and it goes to places where you don't want it to go to, but it still goes there. It's still painful. And let me tell you, there's some painful scenes in this anime where I'm looking at the kids, I'm like, they don't deserve to go through this. Me being 14, like I can't imagine myself going through this at all. But they go through something that where it's almost like, damn, it's out of this world. It's insane because it's like, why are you doing this at all to actually, like, yes, you're saving the world and all that, but man, it just makes you curious of like what's gonna happen when Shinji grows up. Is he gonna be stronger or be like his father? Or it could go many ways because again, I'm just in the beginning stages of the Evangelion series. There's many possibilities of where it can go through. But man, I'm still curious to see more, and also I guess more lore of like behind the series and behind like the world in Japan that they're surrounding in. And for many parts I really enjoy like what it gives, especially Masato, that's her name. Like, her character and everything, it's very explainable, like especially her past, but her hard work and everything really shows that more compared to like what she does like in her off day. And then we get to Ryoji, where he seems to be this mysterious character where it's like, something that I wouldn't see, like, I don't know, he gives me a sly vibe whenever I do see him, and especially a suspicious one, but it's still something more that he can be when it comes down to, I guess, his personality or whatever. But there's this sense of what he like wittiness of like he gets, and also like how he's so calm, especially that scene where he's watering the plants while there's a Ava battle going on, versus the angel, and the angels are just weird. I saw the angels, I'm like, what the heck is that? Is that literally a freaking eye? It's an eye. Okay, there's a freaking ball, and I guess there's organs inside that freaking ball, which is like almost bigger than the moon. And like you killed it, and it's like, okay, what kind of worlds are we going through here? What on earth am I looking at? I'm just like, man, each carrot, like no, each angel is just giving off another sense of weirdness, and the different situations that most of these, the pilots go through, like are just like, how is that possible? There's many parts of this particular series where it's like, nah, that's not possible at all. I can't imagine ever thinking any way to do that. But I guess that's the cleverness of story writing up for this particular show, because it goes into that so much more better than I can ever think of. And especially how complicated, like most of the characters, there's some like sense of like of lessons from mental health, and also like what goes into your mind, especially what goes into Shinji's mind and Asuka's, what the way she acts. There's an explanation for like if you can puzzle them all together, there is a reason why they act this way, and how they are when you actually get to know them. The thing is that I'm very curious to see more of the characters, because I'm seeing some different characters. I see a freaking like person with white hair and also one with glasses. Man, the many characters that it shows, it drives me in more to actually see more of them. There's a part of me where it does that aspect, and I've seen this trope many times in many animes. But there's something about Neon Genesis and Evangelion where it feels like this is the only one. It feels like there's no other show that to look forward to other than this show. If I was, if I was in the 90s and I actually was, I don't have the internet, but instead I have like a TV and cable and pretty much like the good old times, and I would have to wait for this show. It's like almost worth it. It's almost worth the wait. You get almost everything in, like from the action scenes to the fan service to the to different parts. And let me tell you, there's scenes in here where it's like it would not slide in today's anime. Okay, I'm just like, man, they went there. Okay, especially the whole like age thing. They don't care about the age when it comes down to really falling in love. But I'm not freaking Haryana. I'm not here to like say it's like be all like problematic about it and all that stuff. Even though it's somewhat is, there's some aspects that I can see it is. But I'm just here to talk about, the world and the anime itself and how I like it and, how much I enjoyed from it, what I got from it from watching those 20 episodes. It's a lot, okay? I can't really talk about it all here, but if I would actually, of course, this is not a short video, but I enjoyed so much of the characters more than the battles itself. You know, just how they acted and just how how Shinji, how calm he is, and just how it tested it tests your reaction of like, wait, that's not right. That's not cool. Why would he do this? And stuff like, oh God, that's painful. It really goes into the mental state of just like, can you handle this? Can you stomach this? Can you understand what's going on? And there's a lot to stomach where it's kind of hard to, but it's still persevere, in a way. You know what I mean? And if you watch this show, you might understand like where I'm coming from when it comes down to Neon Genesis Evangelion. I'm not the right person when it comes down to ask you like if this anime is good or not. I feel like you have to watch that for yourself to understand, where I'm coming from when it comes down to the main show of what it gives. But honestly, I enjoyed it. I can see this being a classic. I can see this almost being somewhat of a road for many animes to follow, like a blueprint. But other than that, I just enjoyed how much I really got out from really, watching this show, and especially from Netflix. I don't know what I'm missing. I know Netflix is known to really hide some stuff, some scenes, especially with One Piece. I discovered that when they hide some different arcs and whatever. But yeah, this was a good watch. Okay, as a person that is not familiar with Neon Genesis, not familiar or Evangelion, I don't freaking know. See what I mean? I'm not familiar. Okay, but other than that, it is some action packed with strategy, with politics, and that I really don't care about, but it really plays somewhat a big role in here. And there's parts where I'm like, man, I can't imagine myself being in this situation. I cannot imagine myself being in Masoto's on her shoes of what she's really trying to do. If anything, she should be the leader compared to like Shinji's douche dad, because F that guy. But other than that, I'll see you when I see ya. And yeah, that's my review of I guess review. It's my thoughts, okay? Don't even think like, I don't think this is a review. This is just me drunk and just telling you like, hey man, listen, I saw the show. It was something. Let me tell you, buddy. Oh man, let me just hang around your neck. Let me tell you something. Okay, give me another beer. That kind of thing. Anyways, I'll see you when I see you. I love it. Peace.